So I decided to take my little camera and film a few aspects of my life as well as the life of my partners, Rob, Nina, and Luna, because a lot of people have some things to say about polyamorous relationships. So I wanted to film something as kind of an example about what a polyamorous relationship could be, as well as the aspects of life of a drag queen, as well as the life of an independent wrestler. So and how we all kind of make it all work. This video has been put together. It was filmed over several weeks. So that's why the timestamp on the documentary is going to have different times and dates. And I wanted to, let everyone in on our little world. Not all polyamorous relationships are the same. This is just our relationship. And I want to share it with everybody. So I hope you enjoy this film and take what you can out of it and just see what it's like in our everyday lives. Or in this case, the lives of us preparing for Nina's drag performance, as well as some of the little things we've discovered in between as far as our wrestling lives go and our personal lives go. So I hope you enjoy it. Nina and Luna work together at a casino as security guards. They've been doing this job for quite some time. Sometimes it bleeds into their relationship, but normally this is how it is between the two of them. Luna usually stays pretty quiet and keeps to herself, while Nina is very opinionated. Rob usually sits on the sidelines. I just let it go. What can I say? So how long you been doing drag?
Been doing drag since 2000, 2011. I got my start when I was actually enlisted. When I was enlisted in the military and I was in the Air Force. Um, I actually used to leave my barracks in full character.
And what
And
was
I've
the
been doing it on and off.
what was the moment that made you realize that drag was for you?
I just always kind of know. I just always know.
All right. I'm like, so what was the moment that made you decide, let me do this, let me try drag at least once, and then see how I feel?
Well, this is, I was, I was still in the closet then, and meaning my family didn't know about that I'm LGBT, that I'm gay, and all this other stuff. Um, but I made my friends, a lot of people, my friends knew, and I had friends in the local community where I was stationed at, that you know, or that were that did drag, and uh, they kind of taught me. They taught me, whatever. I was, I went to a couple drag shows, and I want to try that.
Where have you always been, Nina Beretta?
No, I've had several different, stage names. When I first when I first started doing drag, I had a little bit more different kind of style than I do now. I would think little bit, slightly more. Um, I went by the name of Ruby Voorhees, and I did what do you call it was all it was I did like I had portrayed an alternative club kid style drag. And I used to go to the the gay I'd go to the gay bars on the week on like Friday and Saturday in character, and then on Sunday I'd get into character again, and I'd actually then head to local goth. We had a local goth night where I was stationed.
Now you stated that it's something you always wanted to do, and you still hadn't come out to your family yet. What was that like the moment you told them the truth?
I came out. I don't know, I came out 2000 around 2014, 2015, 16ish. Somewhere in between there. And what? I think it went over well. My family. No one in my family disowned me or anything like that. I'm actually. I would go as far as saying I'm actually rather fortunate. A lot of folks they don't their families don't assume, reject them as soon as they do come out. They completely disown them, and to me that's wrong. That's wrong. People are people, and we're all human. We all bleed red. You just accept people for who they are, you know. And if you're a parent and you dread that your kid's gonna grow up being LGBT, uh, then all I could suggest is don't have fucking kids then. Bottom line. So,
So you have your family support, which a lot, like you said, a lot of families don't have.
mhm.
So fast forward a few years later, where and how did you meet Luna?
I actually met him online. I actually met him on Facebook. We shared a lot of mutual friends in the gay in the LGBT community out here in Rhode Island and Massachusetts. So
Was Luna also a drag queen?
they wanted to learn.
How did that make you feel?
Loved it. So I said sure, I can teach you. You know, I mean we were kind of dating or we were dating or whatever, and they told me hey they wanted to try doing drag. I said so I'd show 'em.
Now, you two were already an established couple before Rob came into the picture. How did the two of you pretty much bring Rob in?
Oh, we actually again uh, met on social media. Share a lot of uh, we have a lot of mutual friends, and it all stemmed how Rob and I, and all three of us, Rob and I became friends. Is the commonality was music. It was taste in music. They indicated to me too that you know that they did wrestling and whatever, and I'm a huge wrestling fan. As well as a huge fan of drag. The rest is history.
So, how did you feel when Rob one day asked you if you wanted to help him out in wrestling?
I loved it. I jumped at the opportunity.
Now, I see you're dressed in one of your characters.
Yeah,
What character is this?
this is Louis Safaro. This is just a wrestling character. I have two characters with wrestling. I have my um, drag character, which I do drag before, which I use that to divide my I divide use that character to divide my time between drag performances and independent wrestling, and then this guy is just wrestling.
All right, so you and, like I said, you and Luna were established as a couple. You brought Rob in, and then Rob introduced you to me.
Correct.
What was your first impression when you first met me?
I thought you were a really nice. I thought you were a nice person. You were a sweetheart. We met at when, at Pride in Woonsocket, and yeah. So it's like, okay, cool. I don't have to worry. You know, uh, like-minded individual. We have a lot in common. Let's be friends.
Now, what was your reaction the day you found out that Rob and I were choosing to date?
Um, didn't. I'm okay with it. I was happy. I'm we're uh, poly, polyamorous and what have you. So it works for me.
Well, what do you think is one of the biggest misconceptions about polyamory?
I want to I want to fuck everything that walks. That's a big consumption, big assumption. We get portrayed as it's a lot of like I just want to say like slut shaming. You know,
All right, and what do you see yourself doing? I mean, how far do you think you could take your drag character? Like, what ultimately would you like to have happen?
oh, there's a ton of things I'd like to happen. One, I'd like to, with my drag character, I'd like, be a title holder. That'd be nice. Uh, Also, with my drag, I do wrestling. It'd be nice to, transition from a valet, manager, enforcer type character to an in-ring competitor. Maybe have a run, maybe a local independent scene with maybe like some sort of like maybe one of their championships or what have you.
All right. So, who did you meet first, Nina or Luna?
Nina.
And
Actually, we were friends on Facebook prior, before we even started dating. It wasn't that long we were friends. You know, I was coming into my own. As everybody knows, I am pansexual and polyamorous. I have dated a transgender person. I am dating them now. Like I said, I've known Nina first before I knew Luna.
when did you figure out that you were pan?
Actually, I knew I was something different since I was a little kid, but I didn't really figure out until probably when I was 48 last year. I dated women. I've dated. I, did my own thing with them. Whatever. I wasn't the greatest guy in the world. Trust me. And it's just like I had feelings for the others, my own sex. Men or whatever. Even females that I thought it was attractive that there are other people out there that are different, just like me.
All right. So, you meet Nina.
Yes.
How did you meet Luna?
Actually, they're a couple. I met Nina and Luna going what, a year ago. Um, I was sitting at home, bored out of my mind, in my own thoughts, depressed. Nina actually hit me up. They were hitting me up like constantly throughout my whole uh, figuring out who I was. They've always wanted me to go out with them, but I was like, no, I'm not ready. I'm not ready. I'm not ready. I was trying to find myself. So Nina hit me up and asked me, listen, do you want to go out? And there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. That's Nina. So I was like, fine, I'll go out. And then we were hanging out. We were friends. Then I started having feelings for them. For both of them.
All right, so uh, fast forward a year later, how would you feel as though? How do you feel your relationship is as of right now?
Very healthy, actually. I have the three most beautifulest, greatest partners in the whole world.
Well, since you brought it up, you know, how did you? What was it about me that made you send that Facebook request?
Cause I actually, when I when we when first Facebook came out, I was like, whatever. I was MySpace, obviously. Then I was like, Gladys. She's cute. She's a wrestling fan. Not once has she ever interviewed me, one, mind you, prior. And it's just like, she's former military. She was in the army for 2 years. I was like, this is somebody I would really like to be friends with. Then, it progressed after that.
So, you saw that at the time when you friend requested me, I was in a relationship.
Yes.
Eventually married.
Uh,
Did at any point did you ever think would I would like to be with this person?
yes, actually. Um, at first, I was like, we're just gonna be friends. I didn't want to bombard you with everything. Hey, blah blah blah. I'm pretty sure you had those guys. And I was like, I just wanted to, see how nice you are. I obviously we went back and forth on Facebook. We were friends. I followed you on your YouTube channel. My two, well, the Square Surgical Cafe at the time, which it still is, but now it's my two kids productions also. So I followed you. I watched all your interviews. I was watching some of your interviews from old school. I was waiting for that one request. I was like, hey, you want to be on my podcast? Not once until we decided to do it.
All right, so seeing that, like I said, you followed me for a while. When you saw that I was going
Stalking. Let's
through,
get it.
no, I get it.
I'm just
When you
joking.
saw that I was going through my rough patch with my pending divorce, did you think at any point now's my chance, or were you still not sure if you wanted to pursue anything?
I wasn't too sure how you would react. Like, we were friends for the longest time. Not once we talked. Maybe here and there, maybe happy birthday or how you doing once in a blue moon, but never all the time. Not like how it is now, which is fucking great. Um, it's just like, I was like, she's going through this rough patch in her life. I'm going through a rough patch in my life. Maybe we could just talk and see how it progressed, maybe? I don't know. It just happened, obviously, naturally.
Now we now yes, you said we are coming up on our 1 year anniversary at the end of May.
Oh, yeah. I
At
don't know
what
how she
moment?
puts up with me. I really don't.
What made you? What was the moment that made you realize that you wanted me to know Nina and Luna?
Actually, that first day we met, when we hung out that first time, and we met each other at that train station, I knew there was something different about you. I knew that you were this person that has a lot in her, but she wasn't shown how much potential she really has. And I since you said almost a year now since we've been together, and it's been the most greatest time in my life. I love it.
Was there any moments where you felt as though maybe Nina and Luna would be a little apprehensive about meeting me?
A little bit, yes. Because, you've met Nina and Luna. Nina's the strong, stubborn one. Luna is more like, the outgoing, like me. Nina, but now it's just like they're your best friends. And they love you. And you know they love you. And they know you love them. And that you would never do anything to hurt us. Which is awesome.
So now, do you feel as though this relationship is growing stronger? Because it's one of the misconceptions about polyamory, a lot of people think, is that there's a lot of jealousy amongst the partners. You feel as though you feel any amongst us?
No, actually, because you know why? Because there's no such thing as jealousy. It's all in your head. I let you girls do no matter what you do. I don't get. I'm getting too old to get fucking jealous. I'm not a little kid anymore. Oh no, yeah, you got my favorite toy, give it back. No, it's stupid. Why be jealous of somebody else's happiness? As long as they're happy and you're with them or your friends, or if it's even in a polyamorous relationship. I have heard there is jealousy ones. I've heard there's controlling ones also too. But I'm not a control freak. I don't get jealous.
Now, do you feel as though, you bring something different to the table because you are dating a gender non-conforming person as well as two drag queens?
I would hope so. I think I bring something to the table. I'm hoping I'm a good boyfriend. I'm hoping that I'm show you girls how it really supposed to be. I try to I don't know, try to be helpful. Try to be romantic. I try to be loving. Even though, yeah, I have my bad times once in a blue moon. Big deal. Everybody does. I've had my bad times in the past. But not once have you ever judged me on anything I've ever done in my past.
And what would you say is the one misconception people have about polyamory?
I don't even know. Maybe because of the deception, because it's a jealousy thing, maybe? I don't know. Other than that, I hope that if people out there that are listening to this are in a polyamorous relationship, I'm hoping that it's a positive thing and it's not a negative. He made it
So, Rob,
different.
how'd you feel the first time you saw Nina perform?
I thought it was awesome.
And Luna?
I thought it was awesome. I thought it was beautiful.
Do you have a favorite performance?
No, all their performances are awesome.
What are some of your go-to songs?
I do. Hello to My Heart by Taylor Dane.
A lot of Razakel.
This is Unite by Amber. Be My Lover by LaBouche. Sweet Dreams by LaBouche. Um, what else? I like those are some of my go-to songs. Another go-to song for me is Hot Boys by Missy Elliott. Um, more, what else? In a Dream by Raquel, um, one of my go-tos. And then there's a couple, uh, Razakel songs uh, that I do that are go-tos if I wanted to do like a spooky uh, alternative like kind of like gothy chick or whatever.
Now, you got invited to do a Pride event in a couple of weeks. Well, actually, by the time this documentary comes out, it already happened. How did that come about?
One of my friends who I have a friend. She lives up where the in North Ham- Hampton, Mass, where this Pride Festival will be. Um, they wanted they told me, hey, you should I live here. Um, um, you should perform here. And they showed me they sent me the application and or whatever and advertisement and all that and like the shit that they saw or whatever on Facebook. And then the rest is history. I applied and
How did it
I got
feel when you
picked.
got the application accepted?
Awesome. I felt like $1 million. I think it's not very often. I haven't. My last drag show that I did, where I was a featured performer for a Pride festival show, was my like was my debut uh, uh, debut in drag when I was living out in Colorado and enlisted in the military in 2011. Most of the time when shows I do, I'm not it's all like the different like open stage, open mic drag shows.
So, Rob, how do you feel whenever you see Nina and Luna performing?
I think it's awesome. I think it's the best thing in the world. I always wanted them to succeed, and they're doing the best they can. They're doing excellent with all their drag. They're doing excellent with the wrestling. All you girls, like I said, I've been very happy and very proud of you, all you girls, what you've been doing.
Do you think you'll ever perform with either Nina and Luna on stage?
I actually have once or twice. I did one with Luna. It was me and our friend Stevie Dix. We were both dressed as clowns. You know that fun house by Pink, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there you go. I was dressed as my a certain other person, whatever. And our friend Stevie was dressed as a clown, and I asked them if they wanted to do it with us, and they said yeah. And it was fun. That's the only thing I do if I'm asked. I don't really perform myself. I do my own performance, and it's inside of a wrestling ring.
So yeah, Rob had sent me a friend request years ago, and I accepted it. And yeah, we went back and forth on Facebook for a while. Usually with the "How are yous," "How's it going," "Happy birthday." And when I started going through my rough patch with my divorce from my now ex-husband, he hit me up and asked me if I was okay, which I really appreciated that. And then Rob himself went through a bit of a rough patch, so I hit him up. And that was a catalyst to what started our in person friendship as opposed to just a Facebook friendship, to which we met. And we met in person, hung out at the beach for a while. And then from there, things started progressing to the point where we realized that we were more than just friends. We wanted to be just friends with benefits, but it just didn't work out that way because we slowly started to get feelings for each other. I'll not admit that I was the first one to use the L word first, and I was afraid that. Actually, no. Now that I think about it, Rob was the first one to say it, but he said it out of friendship. So I guess when it came to the actual relationship aspect of it, I was the first one to say it. And he had told me up front about Nina and Luna. And I, of course, unfortunately, I do suffer from a lot of self-esteem issues. So, of course, I always felt as though I could never live up to the expectations because Nina and Luna were such wonderful people that I always felt as though I was never good enough. But Rob assured me that I was. When I met Nina and Luna for the first time at a Pride event, yeah, it was pretty cool to see them in person, but I kind of was still a little off putting because I didn't know, like, could I be friends with these people? Could I be, meaning Rob's relationship? But over time, as I started hanging out with them more, I began to really feel accepting. And next thing I know, I'm in this wonderful relationship with Rob, Nina, and Luna. They've pretty much become my best friends, my family, and a lot more than that, my confidants. And between all three of them, they've helped me with my issues as far as self esteem goes and my other relationships as well. When I was younger, I was always told, one guy, one girl. But I kind of deep down never felt that that was really the way it should be, because if you've got a lot of love to give, why would you want to settle with just one person? Not taking anything away from anyone else's normal relationships, especially lots of couples have been together for decades. They have a secret that I may never learn. But I just felt like for me, I just felt like having one partner was, I don't want to be greedy, but I felt like it was never enough. I felt like I wanted to be one of those types that, like to date a lot and go out with a lot of people. But I didn't know there was such a thing as polyamorous relationships. So that's why this was all new to me. Yes, unfortunately, I can't physically be intimate with neither Nina or Luna because they are both gay men. Um, but it doesn't matter because there is intimacy there. It's intimacy that's more of a spiritual, emotional friendship that I can't see myself not having. Rob and I do have a physical relationship, but it's the same with Nina and Luna. It's more spiritual, romantic, emotional. It's, we were friends first, and we will always be friends. I've got no doubt in my mind that I'm not going to lose this anytime soon. But I also know that for me, in this point in my life, this is the best thing ever to happen to me. I will admit, though, I don't actively go seeking out other people to go on dates with. Because, one, believe it or not, I'm very shy. And two, in my mind, even though I said earlier that, I feel like I could see more people, dating Rob, Nina, and Luna, I'm not really seeking out more people. In fact, if anything, I get calls, messages from other people wanting to ask me out. So, and I do have that option to do so. And I do. Just not as often as you would think. So, but the one thing for me I have to say about this relationship is the fact that it's one of the best relationships I've ever had. I feel like it's one of the healthiest relationships I've ever had. And I have not one, not two, but three in a relationship that I could talk to about anything and feel most comfortable. But most of all, they don't shame me for who I am. They make me feel comfortable for who I am, especially since I'm gender nonconforming. Like I don't act like a girl, but I don't act like a guy either. I act like a little of both. So I'm just not in a position to call myself either a man nor a woman. I'm not non-binary, but my pronouns are they them. I prefer it that way. And all three of them have been very understanding of that, and I've met so many other more wonderful people through them that I'm very proud to call friends, and I've introduced them to my circle of people who have accepted them because they see how happy they make me and how much I'm in love with my polyamorous relationship that I'm just wonderfully happy about it, and I'm very proud to be part of this. And I'm hoping this journey will continue for many years. And that even if somewhere down the line we find ourselves where we're better off as just friends, as long as they're still in my life, I love them dearly. I love all of them dearly. If I had my way, I wish all four of us could get married, but we know in some states that's not possible. But in here, I'm very happy with what I have. So when was the moment you realized you wanted to do drag?
The moment that I realized I wanted to do drag was I was young and I always wanted to dress up. When I was a child, my parents was not very fond of me about it. It got to the point where my parents would blame each other, but my mom didn't believe it, and so it got all to that Christian-y blah 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 blah. Years down the line, when I was with my first ex, we went to see one of his coworkers at a drag show, and I always wanted to try it out. He put me down, saying, no, I won't look good, blah 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 blah. So I'm like, okay, whatever. Then I did it for 1 year for Halloween. I was a nurse at a home. Well, I was a nurse at a nursing home, and they loved it. I had pictures with my dean. I was Nurse Ratchet, I'll say a modern day Nurse Ratchet, my own modern day Nurse Ratchet, with my scrubs, and I had red tassels on the end of each cuffs of the pants and the arm sleeves, and I had my own dun cap, and I had heels, glittery silver heels. Could have done better with the makeup, but that's one of the makeup that I had at the time. So then I got into with my third relationship. Me and my third relationship had to go to my friend's house for like Halloween or Pride if we wanted to dress up and drag. I have two best friends, that was supporting me doing drag. Then down the line, I met Nina.
Speaking of Nina, how did you two meet?
We met on Facebook. Loved her drag. It was different. And I was wondering, I thought to myself, maybe if we've been, well, at first, maybe we'd just like be friends, help me get into drag, back into drag, and all that type of stuff, which, Nina did. But before Nina, she was Candy Cane. Then she changed it to Nina. So started thinking about my name. So it went from Diva La J then I felt it didn't kind of fit me. So I thought about it, thought about it, thought about it, and I thought about this name, Piper Hollowell Dior, which I had three sisters in the family, which is my mom and two aunts. And so then I was like, you know what? I know I want to start my business at some point, and my business is tarot and healing meditation. So I was like, and for my business name was Luna Nightingale. So I didn't want to mix two different names. So eventually I changed it to Luna Nightingale. So it being my drag and my business character name.
So Nina and you have been a couple for how long?
The two plus years.
Now you were an established couple before Rob came into the picture. How did Rob factor in?
With Rob, eventually I became friends with Rob because he knew that me and Nina was together. So he friended me, or I friended him, and he was a stud, I can admit. So one day we were hanging out. We met Rob, me, and Nina. We went out to go do our drag show was on Sundays at Dark Lady karaoke night at the time. So, and I got a feeling because I'm a witch. I had a feeling that he was really into us. So I waited, for a little bit, for a little while. Then Rob one day came to me and says, "Look, I want to be part of your group, your poly with these guys." And I was like, "Oh, okay." I was like, "Let me talk to Nina about it." So I talked to Nina about it, and she felt okay with it. So that's when we've been in a poly, and we've been a poly a little over a year.
Now the three of you have already established a relationship. You and Nina are the main ones, and then Rob comes in, and then Rob brings me along. Now, what was your first reaction when you first met me?
Well, we met at the Woonsocket Pride last year, I want to say.
Mm-hmm.
And all of a sudden I heard, well, my name at the time was Piper. And I was like, oh, okay. I'm like, hi, how are you? And you were like, I'm well. And you told me about you were best friends with Rob for so many years. I wanted to introduce myself. And I was like, oh, cool. And eventually, we've been friends on Facebook. And, we started to, then you started coming into our group and chilling. And I want to say it was about almost a year to a year. And that's when um, decided that, I know you loved Rob at the time, but excuse my French, sorry Rob, but he was a mean old man, grumpy old man. But um, but he's better, and which is true. Um, so and not get into personal details, but I heard your personal information. So I was like, you know what? Since you used to knew each other for so many years, and you guys start to going back to rekindling, I was like, at first, I'm like, let me see how this love match, works out. As you guys being friends, and rekindling, starting friends back up, and then as soon in the moment, you know, maybe like 6 months to 8 months or so, I was like, yep, I was right. Match made in heaven. So
Now, what was your
I was like,
reaction when Rob not only officially considered me his girlfriend? What was your reaction when he brought me into this relationship as far as all of us being partners?
well, since we were got into an open relationship after a year, I just felt like might as well because you know it's not like a monogamous anymore. So I just like might as well have a strong bond of family and relationship all at once. So um, I've been through a lot in relationships. I've been cheated on, used, and it's a little bit of mental abusive, and
What would you say is the biggest misconception about polyamory?
um, people don't know what's love anymore in all general aspects because right now we're dealing hatred in the gay community in and we're dealing with, excuse my French, I'm not a Trump person, but and I have a voice of my opinion. So I feel that you know we need to stop the hate, crimes, abuse, and of any kind of way, and just look at just love one another. I'm gonna quote, and I don't mean to bring this in religious terms, but love. um, got a little bit ADD, so bear with me. It's like love your haters, you know, and not. I'm just gonna put it this way, short and sweet. Love your haters and not hate others or do other friends to hate.
So we're getting ready right now. We are just about set to go. We've got the directions all set. Estimated arrival will be 12:15. This is going to be our first road trip together. We have Luna in the back seat there. Rob's outside having a quick smoke. And Nina's getting ready to make the trek up to Northampton, Massachusetts for a Pride event, which she will be performing. So,
Hi.
everybody buckled in back there?
Not yet.
Alright, don't mind the crutches. Unfortunately, Luna does have a leg injury, so she will not be performing this weekend.
Boo.
But this is definitely going to be a first for us. I can't wait.
Me neither.
So we'll definitely check in periodically throughout the trip, or at least until the next rest stop.
Yep.
So, all right, let's go. All right, so we are estimated time of arrival is 12:27. We just stopped over for a quick pit stop at a certain donut place very well known in New England. Very beautiful countryside out here. Yep. But of course, Rob's only got one thing in mind.
Yeah, food.
No, the other thing you were talking about.
What?
All the fishing.
Oh yeah, because they had houses on lakes, man. If I had a house on a lake, I would not be home. Like literally, I'd be fishing all day.
What do you think?
Go squirrel, go. Come on.
No comment.
No comment. Because she knows. She knows. Rob would not be home. Nina's doing a good job driving.
Did have a couple of hiccups because halfway through our driving there was construction work. There's another lake for you, Rob.
Let's go. No.
No, indeed. I don't have my bathing suit. Oh God, no! I don't want to scare everybody off.
Okay.
But thankfully, the navigation was able to get us in a better direction, and now we're on our way. We still got another hour before we get there, and then once we get there, we're gonna look around, find some places to pick up essentials we need for the hotel room, because we'll have time before check-in. And Nina actually was correct about an old wives' tale. She told me about how if you see cows lying down, it means it's gonna rain. Sure enough, we saw a couple of cows and some raindrops hit the window, so hopefully we don't see any more cows lying down as we're on the way there. So, alright, we'll check in, and I think the next stop will be when we arrive at the hotel.
Yeah.
So we made it. We're at the, well, by the time this comes out, we'll already be checked out. We're at the Quality Inn in Northampton. I just did a order for snacks. We're just getting unpacked and getting ready because we got a very early wake up tomorrow.
Kill me now.
We're not gonna do that.
I'm only messing.
So, as always, for a long trip, we're all very tired.
Tired into work.
Luna's gonna order a pizza in a bit.
Nina's just.
Nina is unpacking, making sure we have everything. And like I said, I just did the Instacart order. I got my computer connected to the Wi-Fi. So this is day one of the trip.
Day one.
And we are going to keep everyone posted. So I'm probably going to take a little nap. Do you mind?
What? What happened?
And on that note,
My daughter's gonna say no. Hi.
it is.
Too early in the goddamn morning.
Oh, shut up. Let's see.
That's
Well,
what it
let me
is.
zoom in
Goddamn
here.
early.
Okay, you're reading that correctly. It is 4:26 a.m.
Boo.
We've actually been up. Well, I should say, they've actually been up since 2 a.m. I woke up at what, 2:45, 3 o'clock?
Something like that, yeah. Shit.
Nina has to be at the event by before 10 o'clock, at least in the green room. Luna is getting ready. She's going to be owl today. Excuse me.
And Rob looks like a fucking homeless bum.
No more than usual.
Hey!
And of course I've got my dress on.
It's a pretty dress, Wonder Woman.
But I left the house without a bra, so I have to wear my sports bra under my dress.
It's okay.
Yeah, you think so. You're not the one wearing it.
Well, I'm not a woman, so I don't have titties. Not yet, anyway.
Let's move that so
Nina's putting on her makeup right now. Well, at least she's putting on the base. I believe Owl will be doing her makeup.
Yep.
Owl got
Nina
her
does the
makeup
base.
on.
Paolo does the rest.
You gotta put your hair on?
Yeah, later.
Oh, okay. So yeah, it's 4:30. Breakfast at this hotel does not serve until 6:30. The coffee, unfortunately, was not the best. Of course, I didn't have any.
Sorry. Such a horrible boyfriend I am. Ah, God damn it. Son of a bitchin' bastard, Batman.
Well, this is all raw footage. It's all going in the documentary.
You want to see Raw? Look at this.
Oh,
That's sick time.
I hope it
This
won't.
shit
I hope it's not
dry.
gonna be like too hot.
Well, it's supposed to be 78 degrees today.
And I hope it's gonna be like slightly cool, but not too hot.
Um,
And rain. Fuck rain.
well, it's not supposed to be heavy. It's just supposed to be light rain.
Um,
And this is the reason why she's not performing.
my bone sticks out a little bit in this one. I can tell a little bit difference.
Nina goes out for a cigarette after each stage. It's like different stages. Takes a shower, goes out and smokes, puts the butt on, goes out and smokes, puts the boobs on, goes out and smokes, puts the makeup on, goes out and smokes. And then this one just go out and smokes in general.
Yeah, because Rob's not ready yet.
I've never really watched drag queens get ready besides what I've seen on television. So it's always awe-inspiring to see when Nina and Luna get together and get ready. Though she's not performing today, Luna did want to dress up. Today she's in her drag king character, Owl Nightingale. She'll be there to support Nina and touch up her makeup in between performances. Nina is scheduled to do two performances today, one in the 2 o'clock hour and the second one during the 4 o'clock hour. She was really excited when she found out she was chosen to be one of the performances. So was Luna. But unfortunately, Luna suffered a leg injury and won't be able to perform. But she's still here helping Nina put her makeup on. Nina trusts Luna to do her makeup at every show, during every show, and after every show. You can always see Luna touching up her lipstick or her eyeshadow, putting on eyelashes, and just making sure Nina looks as beautiful as she always does. Rob and I usually get a kick out of watching them get ready. We can't help it. We love our girls. They're beautiful. Luna's done my makeup a couple times. I do enjoy it. But when it comes to the queens, Nina is definitely the top queen. Alright, found some questions on TikTok and we are going to answer them.
Oh, God.
Or at least the
Try.
parties in question right now are going to. The other one's getting ready. So here we go. It says relationship questions you need to ask your partner today. Okay, here we go. What part of your life has changed the most since we've met?
I don't even know.
Coming out more, dude. Finding more of me of doing drag.
Okay.
The whole wrestling aspect.
My creativity.
Nice. Feels in that.
Yep. Okay. Why do you think I fell in love with you?
My eyes, you bitch. Every time.
Talent.
Well, as much as you'd like to think it's your eyes, it's your good heart.
Yeah.
Both of you.
What?
I know something else too, but I'm not saying.
I'm good at sex, okay? Not one complaint.
Wing-a-ling.
What's your favorite weird habit of ours or mine? Yours. It's kind of hard to ask these questions when you're in a polyamorous relationship. This, of course, these are meant for two people, but.
Well, that's okay.
All right. What's your favorite weird habits of each other? All of us.
Their weird habit is just when they go like this. Suck that thumb. But it's cute. It's not a weird habit.
Well, what about me?
Your weird habit is just like you're just different.
Alright.
How so?
I'm just.
For him is Mr. Magoo.
Hey.
Yeah,
I'm
Mr.
with Derek.
Magoo. And for you, your creativity.
Thank you. What I have to say for you would have to be the fact that I don't know, the fact that you seem to know something before I do. Yeah. They were the one who figured out that I was in love with Rob before I did.
Yeah, pretty much.
Cause I'm a witch. I'm a witch.
And for you, yeah, I would have to say sometimes the facial expressions you make. That right there, that one right there.
I make some weird facial expressions.
Yeah.
I really do.
Okay.
I talk with my face.
Especially with
What changed in you after? What changed in you after we met? That's
My
right.
love for you girls. Like my total respect for all of you, especially you, Gladys, because you've been through a lot. And I have mad respect for you right now, because you've been through a hell of a lot, and now look at you. You're fucking great.
I agree.
See?
All right. What about for Rob?
What
What changed about you after you met him?
Don't know.
All right. What about Nina? What changed about you after you met her?
Oh my God, a lot. I mean, my whole life.
Patience.
Yeah. Sorry. What about you?
I find myself a lot more outgoing, a lot bolder than I normally am. I usually have a go big or go home attitude, but
Now it's a lot bigger.
with you guys, it's a lot bigger. The home is a lot bigger.
Yeah.
Because I got 2 homes to go home to.
Yeah, pretty much.
Actually, well, you got 3.
3, that's right.
Yeah, that's right.
All right, we're chilling in the room, getting ready. It is almost time. Nina, how you feeling?
Got
Good. Ready for your performances?
Yes, I am.
And Rob's over there. Zoom in. Say hi, Rob.
Hi, Rob. What's up?
What's up?
Buttercup.
Owl. Oh, owl. You ready? Show the hair.
Show the hair.
Yeah.
Hold on, man. Nice and long.
I know. What's the secret? Because it was short before. What's the secret?
Extensions.
I like that extensions. That was great. Extensions.
Without hesitation.
Most definitely. Hesitation. Rogaine and Viagra. Cocaine and Viagra. Cocaine and Viagra. I said Rogaine. Oh, I thought you said
No, he said,
cocaine.
I heard Rogaine. You heard cocaine.
What am I thinking of? I don't do that shit.
But then while we were at breakfast, we had a maid coming up and asking us all kinds of questions, which is very flattering of us. And she is waiting for the moment she gets to meet our own Nina Beretta. So, you have a fan.
Yes, I do. I have lots and lots of.
Yes, you do. She seemed interested in also finding out that you were a pro wrestler.
Yeah, I know, right?
Mm-hmm. And that was actually some good advice she gave you about getting your towel business going.
Oh, Yes.
Yeah, you.
Ooh, you.
You.
And he wants a taro like Gladys Snow.
All right. Next time we'll be at the show. Little last
Their
minute touch
performance
ups
is
there.
at 11. We woke up at like 2 o'clock in the morning.
All right.
Couple today, and so we just want to let them give a quick intro to their art form. Hello, everyone. Happy Pride. My name is Owl Nightingale, and Queen, I am Luna Nightingale from Providence, Rhode Island, and I hope everyone have a blessed day, enjoy, and have fun. All right. Without further ado, our next performer, who is also from Providence, Rhode Island.
Here we go!
Nina Beretta.
Yeah! My partner.
Susan.
That was.
Good going, stranger.
Jordan's watching it. Let's jump into my bed.
am beyond repentance. Spent hunger, pressing too rich from mental mind. All in the cultural sense, I just weaken future tense. Lost is being the best, where it comes the next time. I wanna love you, but something's pulling me away from you. Jesus is my virtue, and Judas is the demon I cling to. I cling to. It's a holy fool, baby. It's a fool, but I'm still on the Judas, baby. I'm just a holy fool, baby. It's a holy fool, but I'm still on the Judas, baby.
All right, so growing up, you've known my relationships haven't exactly been the best,
Yes.
especially the one with your father.
Oh yeah. But he's definitely no walk in the park when it came to being a human being and being around him. So
So, with all my previous relationships, what do you think of the one I'm in now?
the one you're in now, I think, has been super beneficial with you reconnecting to your passions. And also, I think it's different than anything you've ever like been involved in before. Um, and I think it like helps challenge you and helps you grow more as a person.
Now, when I first introduced you to Rob, I only introduced you to him as my boyfriend. So what did you think when you first met Rob?
He seemed nice. He seemed pretty like on par with like what you're into at least. Like he seemed to fit what you would typically go for. Just like eccentric and silly and weird, but also like nice. But he seemed to like mentally be much more put together than most.
So then I introduced you to Rob, and then later down the line, I introduced you to Rob's other two partners, Nina Beretta and Luna Nightingale, who are two drag queens who were already in an established relationship before meeting Rob. Now, what was it like when you met Nina and Luna?
They're definitely polar opposites when it comes to personality, and they definitely have like different things to bring to the table. Like when it comes to each other, like before you had even gotten into the picture, I could see like that being a roller coaster of like a relationship where it doesn't seem like there's ever a dull moment.
So they're established, and then I finally revealed to both you and your brother that I'm in a relationship with all three of them,
Mhm.
and polyamory.
Mhm.
Now, given what you've known about polyamory over the years and stuff, how do you feel about me being in a polyamorous relationship? Which is
Um
open, by the way.
I would probably say it has to be a breath of fresh air just because when you're in a constant like multiple different monogamous relationships and it just kind of turns into a toxic mess, um trying something like swinging or polyamory probably seems like it has something else to offer, and it opens the door more for what your options are, and you're not confined to one specific form of relationship, and then you're like more capable to connect with even more people than what you were previously like accustomed to or able to do.
Comparing my last relationship to the one I have now, do you see a significant difference?
Oh yeah, I would definitely say so. I mean, for one, you can use your use your life however you would like, and it's not like you're just going along somebody else's ride. It seems like you're able to do a lot more, and that like you just have significant amount of freedom at this point, and you're not like constantly concerned about what's going to happen next. It seems more like you're excited about what's going to happen next, which is a big polar difference.
Now, you are in a wonderful monogamous relationship yourself with your fiance. and both of you have been happy for many years. Do you
Hmm.
think somewhere down the line would you ever consider polyamory or no?
We've talked about it. I've talked about like maybe when we're like 50 or something, maybe just like trying like not polyamory but swinging or something. Um but more so that's just like an idea. And I think that's also based on like where we stand libido wise at 50, you know? So, um that's something we definitely have talked about, just like toyed with the idea.
So, with that being said, and I've asked this question to my partners, what do you think is the biggest misconception about polyamory?
I think a lot of people think it's just a glorified way to cheat on your partner. But realistically, when it comes to polyamory, there has to be a lot of open communication and vulnerability and like wanting to have that connection with other people, because like it's pretty easy to connect with other people. I myself tend to feel like really intensely about everyone in my life. And realistically, my platonic friendships are still really intimate relationships that I like put a lot of my heart and soul into as much as I would my own uh, monogamous relationship. So I think realistically, polyamory is just literally that, but maybe with little extra added necessities.
So, thank you so much for watching. This was a bit of a labor of love. There was a lot of, going behind it with all the editing as well as the interviews and, taking all the performances of Nina. Unfortunately, one performance had to be done on my TikTok channel because it got rained out, as you saw by the credits. So I just want to once again thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video and look into our lives as a polyamorous family. Um, we are still together as of this video, and I hope we continue to still be together. We've got many projects lined up in the future, and we got a lot going on. Be sure to check out my YouTube channel for more projects coming out through the My Two Kids Productions. And I am so grateful to be given a chance to give a voice to our relationship. Um, I just like to once again thank Rob, Nina, and Luna. I love you all very much. You are parts of my heart that I never thought could be filled, and thank you so much for filling them. I appreciate everything you all have done for me, and I appreciate you welcoming me into this relationship, and I couldn't be happier to be with three of the best people I've ever been with. So, I want to thank everyone who participated in this video, including my kids and Rob, Nina, and Luna, giving their sides of what polyamory is all about. I wish I could have given you a sneak peek into some of the wrestling that was involved with, but as I stated before, circumstances beyond my control can prevented me from doing that. So, thank you so much for watching, and I hope to do another video like this soon. Take care. Polyamory. This is just our story. It's not what all polyamorous relationships are about. This was just our story, how we got together, how we fell in love, and how we are now happy being together. All right? Take care of yourselves. Take care of yourselves. Always believe in yourself and always believe in love.